Today we will have an elaborate discussion about really powerful Tantric adept Ayani Chudarmanian Athabana, the old Tantric sorceress, who is one of the key figures in the left-hand path Hindu lore. In order to explain who Athabana is, we need to go a little bit into Hindu Dravidian legends and talk again about Kalyan incident. Essentially, according to the Kalyan histories and Indian legends, about 15,000 years ago, powerful Indian emperor wanted to link with the source by force, using techniques of the left-hand path. There were two really powerful high priests among others who were really powerful, and their names were Lavalian Gatisamam and Chudarmani and Athavana. They were husband and wife, or partners, and they were tasked with devising a plan for the emperor to merge with the Brahman by force, using the techniques of the left-hand path. And they indeed obeyed the command of the emperor and decided to call four really powerful negative entities, dark entities, in order to help the emperor to link with the Brahman by force. Those four negative entities were Vinayakadantin, the shadow form of Ganesh, Asura Kalanemi, the demonic lord of time in the Hindu lore, Kali, and Shiva. And also, in some versions, Raksha Silankini as well participated in the ritual. So, those two really powerful mages, with the help of other really powerful tantric adepts, call those negative entities. When I say negative, I mean destructive. I don't mean evil or bad. So they called Kali and Shiva with negative aspects, and they called other negative entities I listed, together with other adepts, and they performed a mass human sacrifice. Unfortunately, ritual known as the Great Kalyan Rite or the Kalyan Incident didn't succeed because the emperor himself, from what I got, didn't respect proper procedures. He didn't want to sacrifice himself, and the rite failed. So, as a result of that, pretty much the world was saturated with enormous amount of negative energy, and the entire Hindu Dravidian civilization collapsed. However, as a consequence of that rite, certain individuals who are resonant with that ritual, who resonate with what happened in the past, and who partially participated in it during their previous incarnations, received great amount of affinity to negative energy. And this is actually, I think, the real reason why this rite was allowed. Because this rite, in a really long-term manner, changed the world and allowed the Tantric adepts, left-hand path adepts, to return to the memories of theirs, to the memories of the Kalyan incident, and harness that negative energy for their own evolution in the left-hand path. So, to elaborate, Athavana, Chudarmani and Athavana, was one of the two high priests who were instrumental in the incident. Another was Lavalian Gatisaman, and I already covered Gati Saman on this channel, so now we will talk about Athabana in greater detail. The yantra you see on the screen is the yantra of Chudarmanian Athabana. And first, before explaining what and how to summon Chudarmanian Athabana, we should explain what is Chudarmanian Athabana good for. So from my experience, Athabana is good for 4 different things. She is good for money manifestation, psychic abilities development, attunement to the current of death, and the deep tantric mysteries, in such a way that they are essentially adapted to the lower level practitioner. So Athabana is a really good initiator. Now, from the dimensional point of view, Athabana is attuned to the boot tala. Now, the boot tala is the negative realm of violent, restless ghosts. Violent, restless undead. And so, now when we know all of this, we can essentially explain some of the ways to connect to Athabana and how to work with her. When we cleared who Athabana is and what she is good for, we will discuss how to summon her and how to build up a relationship with her. This advice given here will be dangerous and controversial in some aspects, and I am saying what spirits told me to say. I am not responsible for your fuck ups, or essentially I am not responsible if you fuck your life with this. I will tell you how to do this safely, in a way which will not fuck you over. And if you break the instructions and fuck the things up, that's not my problem. So, pretty much, summoning Athabana is extremely simple. She is really easy to summon. So, after the sun sets, the best time to summon her is around 2 a.m. Or some tantric schools claim that the best time to summon her is actually 3 a.m. because of the specific astrological correspondences of 3 a.m. in Vedic astrology. So, the best time for summoning her are 2 a.m. or 3 a.m. But if you cannot summon her at those dates, the only important thing is that the sun have set completely for those initial summonings. After you build up the really strong relationship with her, then you will be able to do it during the day. But if you don't have strong relationship with her, then summon her during the night, preferably 3 a.m. Less preferable is 2 a.m. And if you cannot catch any of those hours, then any night hour where the sun is completely set is acceptable. The reason why this is the case is because the radiance of the sun greatly diminishes resonance with the talic realms, with the lower realms. So now, let me explain how to connect with Athabana. So you see a yantra on the screen. You should draw the yantra on the screen on the piece of paper at 3 a.m. in a room with really small light and chant Ayani Chudarmanian Athabana over and over again. Chant while you draw the yantra and also chant while you look at the yantra. Now, how to look at the yantra? Just look in a direction of the yantra without focusing on specific symbols. Chant over and over. Don't be discouraged. Simply relax and chant until you feel the shift in the room, the presence in the room. It will be the sign that Athabana is there. Don't be discouraged to try multiple times if the first time it doesn't work. Some people are less resonant with certain spirits than others. Ionism, especially Tantric Ionism, is about discipline and about willingness to confront the dark and to try hard. Now, there are few pieces of advice which I will give, which differ from some things said by the Ian World Foundation. My stance is after you establish the contact with Athabana, the initial contact, so after you summon her and after you feel the shift in the room, my advice is not to summon her every night, but to summon her at maximum 2 times a week for a year. And every time you summon her, you will tell her that you want to merge with her on a tantric level, on a deep spiritual level. Now I need to elaborate that those tantric entities you are summoning, they want to merge with us in order to experience the material world and enlighten us. That is their goal. Because the main tantric principle is reaching the Brahman through the material world. It is reaching the Brahman, reaching the all through negative energy, and since this material world is mostly comprised of negative energy, Tantric path is essentially about reaching the Brahman through the material world. Now, there is one specific note on this. Once you start merging with these spirits, you can merge with the positive spirits as well. However, if you are a radical tantric practitioner like me, then if you try to merge with positive spirits, it will have a backlash. So if you want to merge with both positive and negative, my advice is to start merging with positive and negative simultaneously immediately. So start merging with positive and negative at the same time, in a way that you will at the same day start to merge with positive entities during the day and negative entities during the night. And you do it simultaneously pretty much every day. If you want to work with only positive entities, merge only with positive entities every day during the day. If you want to work with negative entities, merge only with negative entities during the night. But for Athabana specifically, she is skilled in both opening positive and negative dimensions. So Athabana is negative, but she is not necessarily incompatible for work with positive entities. She is also good for prophecy. And there is also one other thing I need to add, which is that one of the best ways to merge with Athabana is to technically sacrifice piece of your aura and piece of your soul to the boot realm, to the realm of the restless goats Athabana resides. And that's a really potent way to merge with her long term. Now, there is another piece of advice I want to give. So, merge with her only 2 times a week. And if you want to exacerbate the connection, offer her a little piece of your energy and seal it with the boot tower. Now, what I need to say is this. So, there is a way of connecting with Athabana, which will obviously maybe be a little bad taste for people who are not hardcore tantric practitioners. There are actually 2 ways. So, and both of those ways are essentially done after you achieve the great degree of resonance with negative spirits. Now, let me elaborate once again. You summon Athabana at 3 a.m. by drawing the yantra you see on the screen and chanting Ayani Chudarmani and Athabana. After you finish drawing the yantra, keep chanting and look into the direction of the yantra without focusing on a specific detail until you feel shift in the energy. Don't be discouraged if you don't succeed on the first try. Keep doing it. Over the time you will become more resonant and you will succeed in your linking with Athabana. After you summon her, you can ask her for increase of wealth, opening of psychic abilities, attunement to both Tala, spiritual knowledge and mysteries, knowledge of both positive and negative dimensions, and you can also ask her about seeing the future. There is one last note. The best way to pay them is to allow them to merge with us, to fuse with us on a deep spiritual level and remain with us. It is essentially what they want. And as I explained previously, they want it because the main principle of the Tantric path is reaching the Brahman through the material world. Because this material world is mostly comprised of negative energy to great extent, and essentially you absorb negative energy through having experiences in the material. That's the reason why those tantric entities demand you to have certain material experiences in physical world. So, one last note is this. You can connect to Athabana through masturbation and sexual rights. This is not obligatory, but this is possible. You draw Athabana's yantra, you presence her energy, and then you chant her name and sexually relieve yourself. Then she absorbs that energy and merges with you through that energy. That's possible. Another piece of advice I want to give is this. There is a specific way of healing people with Athabana's help. This is dangerous, however, it is really effective. So, you pretty much do the following. You inscribe Athabana's yantra on your body, either with the finger or with some form of paint, and then you chant her name and open her realm on your body, literally. Then you lay your hand on a person you want to heal, and with your left hand, you literally drain and absorb all of the negative energy from the person by focusing on draining that negativity, and you put it into the yantra which is on your body. Then, after that happens, you draw the yantra in front of you, the same yantra you see on the screen. You summon Athabana, and then you tell her to attune you to the negative energy absorbed, so you can thrive off that energy. It is really simple, yet powerful but risky method, because if you absorb too much negative energy and don't attune to that, you can have problems. But from my personal experience, this does work on people. It has positive effects on them, because you remove the negative energy from them and you put them on yourself, and then you summon another negative entity from the both Tala, which is Athabana, to refine that energy. So that is everything I wanted to say for this specific podcast. Thank you for watching and see you next time.